Welcome to Caching Waves. This is your Elliott Wave update for Rune. Now I'm going to go over the 4-hour chart here and targets, and then the micro. The pattern has changed since we last updated, and it has a couple possibilities, and I'll show you those in a moment. But real quick, off our low, we had a wave 1, a second extended wave 1 and 2. Our third came up past the 1.618 extension of our second wave 1, and we've had a very complex fourth wave here as a expanded flat WXY. The important thing to note is that we are staying within our pitchfork, and we came back to the proper retracements we'd expect for our fourth wave, if labeled correctly, at the 3.82 retracement of this third wave. I know it's a very ugly looking wave. It's just the best fit I have found for this, and it makes sense because we had a flat for our wave 2 and a pretty complex deep retracement for our wave 4. So we have our alternation there. Now let's focus down on this area here. Right now I think we get higher side targets for our fifth wave in the third, around $12, just because of the potential down in this area. Now I'll show you that in a moment, and then I'll zoom out and show you what I mean. Down on the hourly, this is our fourth wave low. If you remember the previous video, it was a pretty ugly count for this to be an impulse. I now have switched my probability that this is something more complex, a series of zigzags, and more likely in a diagonal wave 1 of the fifth. So I have our standard retracements out here now, and our extension for our third should be between the 1.236 and 1.382. We then make a fourth wave back to the previous B wave here area in our third wave, and we get our fifth wave to the upside to around $6.60. Should be a series of complex corrections in here, and looking to keep our diagonal pattern. So this is what I'm looking for at the moment. The important things is I'm still in this trade. I'm sure you guys are back in this area. I can't remember exactly. I'll have to check my charts. It's not on this chart. I trade on a different exchange, but got in somewhere in this area. I've moved my stop to the wave 2 currently, just letting this pan out. So if you're in this, not financial advice, just a suggestion, but I have my stop at the wave 2 because I believe if this pivot breaks, this is something more corrective to the upside, and we're making lower lows, and I'll have to recount the entire correction. But as of right now, looking for this to move up in a complex correction. Looks like we have an ABC here coming back. The question is whether it's done or not, or do we just get another ABC and move up? But looking for something very complex up to this area. But the important thing to remember is just our extensions, which is the 1.236, 382, and the 1.618. Doesn't look impulsive here, so I don't expect it to take off on us. So where I'll look to add to my position is if we get this wave play out and we get a nice sideways ABC, like so. And at that point, I will take a retracement of the entire move. Look to add to my position between the 382 and the 618. And I'll have my stop probably just below the 786. Haven't decided how I want to trade this yet. I may consider taking my profit here and looking to re-enter rather than leaving this position I got in over here open. But I will make sure to update that in the videos as this pans out. Very important that if we break this wave too low before filling out these waves, this is most likely something corrective, and we're going to make another move to the downside because all we have is 3-wave patterns right now. Now I'm going to zoom out and show you what I mean. So that was our area of expectation for our diagonal. So if this ends up being a wave 1 and 2 in our fifth, you can see where my 618 1.618 extension is. Say we stop at the 618 retracement after the fact. This would be our wave 1, 2, up to the 1.618, 3, 4, and 5, up to around that $12 mark. So if this pattern plays out, that's where my extensions would be. That's why I think we'd be most likely going for that $12 mark if we get this wave. So as of right now, my entry is into profit and targeting that 1.618 extension of the wave 1 off the wave 2 to complete our 5th. Again, most likely I'll take profit and look to re-enter, but it's looking pretty good, and our extensions, like I said, are all the way up in that scenario if we can get that area up to around $12. So a really nice move potential. This is one of the nicer ones I think is currently available as per risk reward. But we had to adjust this in real time. If you look at my previous videos, it was very complex, but this cleans things up. It makes the most sense at the moment to get to those targets. Just had to kind of reverse engineer that wave to what the best scenario is currently if a 4th wave is in. So if our 4th wave is in and we don't break this wave 2 and make another low, this is my primary here that we're making a diagonal 1 and 2 in the 5th wave of the 3rd. All right, guys, that's it for Rune. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.